took about 2 seconds. There was the twinkle, there was a smile, and he said, well, and then I was trying. That Monday night game after his dad died, we all saw it. We all saw it. One of 321 straight games that he started, which is, that's off the charts. Just off the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, to present number 4, Brett Favre, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, his wife, Deanna.
Brett Favre is the creative quarterback. He just creates plays.
Brett would always share his dream to play football in the National Football League. He was very convincing, very confident, and there was never any talk about the fame or the fortune associated with being in the NFL. It was just the love of the game.
Brett looks, he drills the middle.
He's exciting to me just to be around. I know he's my son. I'm prejudiced and everything like that, but I know he's just something else. He's different.
Brett Favre's NFL career began as a long shot from Southern Miss, but his indomitable will and competitiveness soon took center stage.
It was just exciting every time he got that snap and dropped back. He played risky.
Hey, will you settle down, please?
He was always going to do something crazy if it meant he could pull off a win.
Goes back to the left. He can run. No, he's still with the ball. And he is caught from behind, got away. Still touchdown. Holy cow.
I think Brett plays kind of like free as a bird. He goes out and just plays, like they say, the gunslinger. He's that type.
In 1996, Favre reached the game's summit, returning Titletown to its proper perch.
World champion.
Feeling in his body that he was not going to be second to anything. He was going to be number one, and he always plays that way. And everything, I mean, I don't care if it's golf or whatever it is. I mean, he just can't stand to be number 2.
To see Brett running around the field celebrating like a child was very exciting for me and for a lot of fans, I'm sure.
If a Super Bowl title was the high point, then Favre's emotional performance on Monday night, December 22nd, 2003, following the death of his father, was on another plane entirely.
When Irvin passed away, Brett struggled with his decision to play. He knew in the back of his mind that his dad would say, play. His fear was that he wouldn't play well or he would let his emotion overtake him. He wanted to make sure that he would honor his dad's memory.
So under tremendous emotional duress, Brett Favre goes to work.
That turned into one of the most spectacular games that he ever played in.
I didn't expect this type of performance, but I know he was watching tonight.
It was a great moment during such a trying time.
He followed unprecedented success in Green Bay and a brief stop in New York with a dramatic final act in Minnesota.
Right side, Sidney White, Sidney coverage.
Not really.
We brought Favre in.
The NFL's career leader in consecutive starts, completed passes, and victories. Brett Favre's exalted place in the history of pro football is assured.
There's talented players, there's players who play with heart. He had both of those, but he also had that mindset that just made him extraordinary.
Makes me happy to know that somebody out of my household and a kid that I coach and happens to be my own child has accomplished so much.
I am honored to present Brett Favre for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Brett Favre for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Deanna Favre.
Ted Thompson if I could play the first series tomorrow night. All this excitement has got me wanting to call Ed Werder and spread the word again. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you, Brad. Packer fans here. This is incredible. Incredible. Thank you, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Amen. Believe me, I'm blessed. I'm an extremely blessed man. I look at my family. What a lucky man. Play a game that I love so much for 20 years, to have all the wonderful things happen. What a blessing. To share in that joy with you guys here tonight. What an incredible night. What an incredible week.
What the fuck did I hit?
And having my wife introduce me was an easy choice, considering she was there long before my first touchdown pass. Long after the last. Wow. December 18th, 1983. I was 14 years old. My dad took my older brother Scott and I to see the last regular season game the Saints would play that year as they were playing the Rams. Now, I was pretty certain at 14 years old what I was going to do in my future, and that was I was going to be next Roger Staubach or Archie Manning or Joe Montana. But this was the first and only game that I would ever see in person. And if the Saints won this game, they would have made the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. So it was a pretty electric crowd. And as we sat in our seats prior to kickoff, the crowd stood and they pointed in the direction of the Saints tunnel. As I stood, I saw this long, gray-haired, scruffy-bearded player emerging from the tunnel. And I knew then and there, as goosebumps ran up my arm and the hair on the back of my neck stood up, that was what I was destined to do and be. I wanted to be that player. Well, that happened to be none other than Kenny Stabler. I knew that, of course, I didn't have many choices. It was football, baseball, or bust for me. I didn't have many choices, but I knew then and there that I wanted to be and feel what Kenny Stabler was feeling. What an exciting moment for me. The other part about this story that's important is when we returned home that night, what we didn't know is our mother had set up a surprise birthday for my older brother Scott, who was turning 17. Well, I unknowingly entered the house first to a large eruption of surprise, and of course it was not my birthday. And as you can imagine, a 14-year-old boy in that situation with all his classmates there was red-faced and embarrassed, and I was looking for the quickest way to get to my bedroom. So as I bolted and ducked my head and made my way through all of our classmates, there was one person that caught my eye, and one person only. But it didn't matter. I went and hid in my room, and as I got up the nerve to come out later, that person and I, we played basketball, we talked, we played basketball, we talked, and several days later, as back in the day, we started going together. Well, that person happened to be my future wife, Deanna.
Nice. Look at it.
By far the strongest and most courageous person I know. She's a wonderful mother, an exceptional athlete, not only then, but now, as she most recently is competing in an Ironman in the next 2 months. Which is incredible.
Yeah!
Definitely a strong woman of faith. She fought cancer in the public eye not only one, but she managed to inspire so many, including myself, along the way. In the process, she formed her own foundation that has helped countless women in their fight with breast cancer as well. And I'll say this, she's definitely the best looking grandmother I have ever seen. As our two grandsons are here, Parker and AJ, and I know they're ready to go to bed. I want Pawpaw to stop talking right now. But one more thing about my wife, she's as beautiful today, and I'm not going to say her age because I got in trouble last year in Green Bay for saying that. She's as beautiful today as she was December 18th, 1983 in my living room. Our two daughters are here. I mentioned my grandsons. Our oldest daughter, Brittany, who is now an attorney back in Hattiesburg, and extremely bright and beautiful young lady. And I'm so happy she takes after her mother. She's, as I said, she's the mother of two beautiful grandsons. Who I see you smiling, buddy. I love you. Her husband Alex is here. We couldn't be more proud of. We love Alex to death. We're so thankful that you're here. Our youngest daughter, Breely, just turned 17 and just started her senior year of high school last week. And man, I can't believe how time flies. For all of us up here who have children, we find that they grow up and are out the house very quickly. And the things that our parents said to us that we said, yeah, right, Mom, yeah, right, Dad. Well, they come true. And so the same things I tell my daughters and have told them. Love them while you can, they grow up quickly. Breely is an exceptional volleyball player. She has not made up her mind yet where she's going. And like her sister, she's extremely bright and beautiful. And again, I'm glad she takes after her mother. My mother-in-law, who for 33, 34 years has been by far my biggest fan. I have never thrown an interception that has been my fault, according to my mother-in-law, Ann.
That's awesome.
We all know
You only threw a couple.
She's helped raise our kids. She's lived with us in New York, in Minnesota.
Say hi to Roxy. She's watching.
She's helped raise grandkids, other people's kids, you name it. She's one of the most patient.
Oh, this is live on Facebook?
Yep.
Go Pack, go.
Yep.
Brett Favre right here.
Come on, buddy. You got it. You got it.
Buddy!
Not even halfway through.
Go! Go! Come on, Brett! You got it! Go, Brett, go!
Give me some more.
Go, Brett, go!
Sorry about that. By the way, I'm glad you're on my team now.
Who?
Anyway. As long as it's not alcohol. Anyway, my mother-in-law, who I love dearly, as well as the rest of my family. My sister-in-law, Christy, Deanna's younger sister, her husband, Josh, are here. And I can't tell you how many times they've helped us and made life so much easier for us over my 20 years of play. So I thank you guys. My mother, who just recently had her hip replaced, and by no means was she going to be favors for this. She was going to be here. She is here. My mother taught me that
Yeah!
your
Yeah!
children,
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
mother taught me that being there for your children is absolutely important. I never, not one time, remember my parents ever not being there at a sporting event, any school function, you name it. They were always there. We ate dinner together, we ate breakfast together, we rode to school together, we did everything together, and that's something that has been lost in this generation.
Yes, sir, it is.
I watched my mother teach special education at Hancock North Central High School for many, many years. And at that time, I didn't appreciate the patience and the type of person that it takes to do that type of job. But I learned by watching her and being around her students that treating everyone as an equal and with respect is not only important, but essential.
Yes, sir.
So, Mom, I say thank you. I love you. Mom was the one who always told us she loved us and was a caregiver. You had to know my father. He was the heavy-handed one. It was a good blend, 1-2 punch. But, Mom, I love you, and thank you so much. My two brothers, Scott and Jeff, my sister, Brandy, they're sitting here in the front row. I think they all would agree. I love them so much. It was definitely a fun childhood. We competed, we fought, we ate, we competed, we fought, we ate, we loved each other at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And we got up the next morning and we started it all over again.
We've seen Favre's brothers.
But it was
We've seen a lot of people.
We've seen a lot of fuckers.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Yeah!
It's been awesome.
Yeah!
My agent, Bus.
Bus.
I'm always reluctant to introduce him as my agent because it sounds like it's so non-personal, and Bus is family. And he's family to not only me, but he's family to my entire family. That's what he does. And he's been like a friend, a brother, a father at different times over the 30 years we've known each other. So, Bus, I love you and thank you for many years.
Good job, Bus.
And the last but certainly not least is my father. And I'll tell you, of course, it's been talked about a lot, the Oakland game.
Woo!
And that, I'll tell you a story. My father would have introduced me here tonight. And Deanna and I, after the game in Oakland, had chartered a plane. Our two daughters had went to Mississippi. She flew out late Saturday night and was there throughout. We had chartered a plane back from Oakland to get Christmas gifts back in Green Bay, take a brief nap, and go to the service in Christmas back in Mississippi. And let me say this first about NFL fans, Oakland Raider fans in particular.
Amen.
That night, and I have played in Oakland before, and I think everyone here who's played in Oakland, either as the home team or the away team,
I've never played there.
They can be downright nasty. I've seen it. But I'll say this, that night, the tremendous respect and honor that was shown to me and my family from the Oakland Raider fans was spectacular.
Yeah!
And although we didn't ask for it, Deanna and I got a police escort to the airport
Fucking awesome.
that I can promise you would have made any president proud. So I say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Woo!
But on our flight back, it was a long flight, and as you can imagine, there was a lot of emotions. We had just won the game, and it was probably the best game that I'd ever played in. That really didn't matter at that point. And we laughed, we cried, we tried to sleep, we laughed and we cried. One time in particular, Deanna says to me, "You'd had to know my father. My father was short on praise and long on tough love. If he was ever to praise me, I was not to hear it. It was always, you can do better. He was always pushing me to be better. That was okay. Never did I hear him say, son,
This is beautiful.
you've arrived. You're the best. That was awesome. Great game.
You are the best!
Yeah, but. So Deanna says to me on the plane, you know, your dad said to me that he had hoped or could not wait for the day that you were inducted to the Hall of Fame so he could introduce you. And up until that moment, I had never thought about the Hall of Fame. And I mean no disrespect to the Hall of Fame. I say this with the utmost respect for all you guys. I dreamed of playing the NFL, believe me. Way more than I thought about my schoolwork. I thought about being Archie Manning, running around throwing underhand passes. I thought about being my childhood favorite, Roger Staubach, throwing it to Preston Pearson or Drew Pearson, handing it off to Tony Dorsett, being Kenny Stabler coming out of the tunnel. I thought of those things so many times, but I never thought of the Hall of Fame until that moment. So a new goal had entered my mind then and there. And I said to myself, I will make it to the Hall of Fame.
You did it, Brad! Yeah! Yeah, Brad! Pull it together, son.
I love you, Brad!
Brad!
That I would make it to the Hall of Fame, to acknowledge the fact of how important he was.
Brett Favre right here! That's him, Come on, Brad! Woo!
This is tougher than any 3rd and 15, I can assure you. So I can acknowledge the importance of him in my career and my life, which he was a tremendous part of my life. He taught me toughness. Boy, did he teach me toughness. Trust me, there was no room for crybabies in our house. He taught me teamwork. And by all means, no player was ever more important than a team. My father, for those who don't know, chose to run the wishbone, which some of you younger generation people do not even know what that is, but in Maryvale, Provo. But that was the type of coach he was, and that was the type of dad he was. He would never showcase his son's talents or anyone else's talents, or their good, rather than the team's good. And so, then and there, in that moment on that plane, I was determined, for selfish reasons, to get to this point, to acknowledge how important he was. I would not be here before you today without my father. There's no doubt whatsoever. And one more thing about my father, and this is something I've never told anyone, including Deanna. My dad was my high school football coach. He was the head football coach. He coached me and my 2 brothers. But I never had a car growing up. I always rode to and from school with my father in his truck, and so he was always the last to leave the building because he had to turn the lights off, lock up, and then we made our way home. So it was the last high school football game of my high school career. And although I don't remember how I played before, and I don't remember how I played in the last game, what I do remember is sitting outside the coach's office, say on a Wednesday, waiting for my father to come out so we could leave. It was dark, and I overheard my father talking to the other coaches, and I heard him, and I assume I didn't play as well the previous week only because of what he said. He said, I can assure you one thing about my son. He will play better. He will redeem himself. I know my son. He has it in him. And I never let him know that I heard that. I never said that to anyone else. But I thought to myself, that's a pretty good compliment, you know? My chest kind of swole up. And again, I never told anyone, but I never forgot that statement, that comment that he made to those other coaches. And I want you to know, Dad, I spent the rest of my career trying to redeem myself.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
I'm working on it. I'm trying to get through it.
You got it! You got it, Brett!
I spent the rest of my career trying to redeem myself and make him proud. I hope I succeeded.
Everybody is standing up. Ain't nobody sitting down.
Thank you.
Beautiful day!
So never discount the importance of being a father and statements that you make. Whether you think your kids here, just you're very important to your children. And the lesson is we come and go very quickly. So love them each and every day. Now I want to thank some people. First, I want to thank the University of Southern Mississippi.
Right there. Don't forget Ron Wolf,
Those
baby.
of you who don't know, I was offered one scholarship, and that was
That's my cup.
Southern Miss. And I was happy to take it. And I was determined
Put it on the bottom.
in right. Jim Carmody, Curly Hallman, Jack White, Rodney Allison, Jeff Bauer, Stephen Maples were coaches that made an impact on my college life. I wouldn't trade 4 years at Southern Miss for anything.
Yeah!
Also, extremely honored to follow in the footsteps of one of the greatest NFL players of all time, and certainly one of the greatest Southern Miss players of all time, and that's Ray Guy. There are two coaches in particular that were at Southern Miss at the time that meant more than anyone. Mark McHale was offensive line coach, and Mark was recruiting the area of the Mississippi Gulf Coast in which I played. And he fought tooth and nail to get me a scholarship, and it came down to the last hour. And when I say last hour, I literally mean last hour.
I love you, Brad!
He fought, and he believed in me, and I thank him so much. He's coaching high school football back in West Virginia, probably watching right now. So, Coach, I thank you so much for believing in me and sticking it out, giving me that opportunity. The second coach is a guy who has since passed away, and his name is Thamus Coleman. And as we called him back then, Famous Thamus was a great guy. And I found out this was a story that Ron Wolf would later tell me after last night in Green Bay. He came down after my senior year to watch film of my senior season. And I believe Ron at the time was with the Jets.
Yes,
he was looking for a quarterback.
Ron Wolf. Yes, he was.
After he watched this film of my senior year, upon leaving the building, Coleman said, "Well, Ron, what did you think?"
Met was Ron
Wolf said, "Not that impressed."
Oh.
We said, "I'm not sure if you know, Brett had a really bad car wreck right before the start of this season. He lost 34 inches of his intestines. He fractured a vertebrae in his back. Not only was he not supposed to play, we didn't think he would. And he suffered other injuries as well. But he did start 4 years for us, and I encourage you to go back in and watch the 3 previous years." Well, Ron Wolf took his advice and went back in and watched the film. And upon leaving, Famous Coleman said, "Well, what did you think?" And as I like to say, the rest is history.
Yeah! Yeah!
So thank you, Coach Coleman, and thank you, Ron Wolf. And speaking of Ron Wolf, I stood right back there on the back of this stage last year, and I watched Ron Wolf be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I could not have been more proud.
Yeah! Love you, Ron!
Ron Wolf is the single most important person to the Packers' rebirth than any other person.
Yeah! Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!
25
Go,
years
Pack, go!
had any
Go,
success
Pack, go!
when Ron Wolf took over. And since then, we all know what the Packers have done.
Win! Win, win, win!
Now Ron Wolf
Pack is back!
would not have coached in Green Bay. There would not have been a Brett Favre. There would not have been a Favre and Sharp and Driver and Brooks.
Yeah, Mikey! Mikey!
Dorsey Levens, Edgar Bennett, Frank Winters, Santana Dotson,
Leroy!
Andre Wright, the list goes on and on. The single biggest free agent acquisition in NFL history.
Reggie!
Ron Wolf made it cool to come to Green Bay.
Yeah! And the place
So I
so
thank
cold.
you, Ron, for believing in me, seeing something in me that others didn't see, probably including myself. Sticking your neck out there for one of the riskiest and craziest trades in NFL history. When you decided to trade a first-round pick for me.
Best trade ever! Yeah! Yeah!
I love you. You mean more to me than anyone.
Yeah! Oh, yeah! This is you, Wolf!
Manny hired Mike Holmgren.
Yeah!
Greatest head coach I've ever played for.
Holmgren way!
I see him sitting with my good friend Matt Hasselback. We both can attest. He's one of the toughest and most demanding coaches you will ever be around. He's a true perfectionist, and I'm sure Steve and Joe would say the same thing.
Thank you, Mike!
But he was a very fair guy, and I know that because could you imagine being Mike Holmgren and leaving San Francisco? Tremendous success, coaching two of the greatest players of all time, Joe Montana and Steve Young, and getting stuck with Brett Favre.
Yeah!
Now, I thought I was good, but I had no idea what good was. And I am so thankful that Mike chewed my ass, but believed enough in me to give me another chance.
It really does.
No more racket balls! He could have and should have pulled me.
I was chinged out!
And had he done that, there's probably someone else standing here before you talking. So I'm thankful, Mike, for you.
Yeah! Mikey!
Three other coaches, and there were so many other coaches, and they told me 8 to 10 minutes, and I got every one of these guys clocking me right now.
We don't need commercials!
And I don't give a damn.
Yeah!
Ken Johnson, the best man, the strength coach for the Packers at that time. He's now with San Diego. I love you, Kent. And Steve Mariucci, who's out here somewhere.
There he is!
Andy Reid, who
God,
was
he's got a man.
Those guys could not have been more important at that time.
And John. Marty.
They're not only awesome coaches, but they're great guys. I needed a buffer, if you will, when it came to Mike. And quite frankly, he needed a buffer. And there was none better than Mooch and Andy. And I love those guys, and I thank you so much for
You betcha, buddy.
believing in me.
Oh,
and being
good.
there for me. And I like Orlando, Coach Dungy, Kevin. I want the guys that I played with to stand up. I'd love to call each and every one of you.
Yeah, let's see you, boys.
Too. If there's one, stand up. If there's 100, stand up.
Go, go, go!
Packers!
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!
I love you guys. I love you. Let me tell you, and this may not be a secret, I love playing with you guys. It was a blast. I love carrying you off in the fireman carry. I love tackling you. I love slapping Marco in the ass. I love it. And he loved it too. And for everyone up here, they would all agree that's what it's all about. Not necessarily slapping them on the ass. I love you teammates competing, fighting, scratching, tough losses, tough wins. Man, that's what it's all about.
We love you, Brad!
I mean, I love it. And I love you guys.
Throw it in the old vice!
Yeah!
Fans. The fans. I tell you, I think it's pretty special. I often wondered what it was like when Mike and Matt Hasselbeck came back to play when they were with Seattle. And then I found out. It ain't easy. But I thank you so much.
They ain't scoring.
To Minnesota, 20 years.
What?
Make no mistake about it. I will be remembered as a Packer.
Yeah!
When I went to Green Bay last year, my family and I, we walked on the field. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect as I went back.
It's heavy,
last
man.
time
It's
I walked
heavy.
to Lambeau wasn't real pretty.
You're welcome.
I honestly didn't know what it would be like. I do know Packer fans, and I know how faithful they are.
Loving
I
arms.
did play for the Vikings. When I walked on the field, I have to admit, 70,000 people, not there to watch a game, but to celebrate a career of a player. It was absolutely amazing.
Fucking right, Brad.
And you're to be commended for that.
Yeah!
So I thank all the fans across the country, and in particular you guys.
We thank you!
Leads me to my reflection over my 20 years, and believe me, I had a blast. And I think
Thank you, we did too!
Play would say that. Sometimes maybe a little too much.
You're the man, Brad!
But what I'm most proud of, what I think about most, has nothing to do with statistics.
Hey, you got a couple more years left!
I've ever thought that a young man from Kittle, Mississippi, whose father ran with Wishbone, would hold every passing record in NFL history.
Yeah! We're not worthy!
You're amazing,
We're not
if you ask me,
worthy!
but that's not what makes me most proud.
I feel your pain.
What makes me most proud is how I played the game. And
Fuck yeah!
being real, authentic, and spontaneous, and loving the game. To me,
Hey, that was Prince.
I couldn't believe that they paid us and that I was racking up statistics like I was. I was just having fun. And I'm most proud of that. And so,
I got that, man.
when I look back over my 20 years, I can honestly tell you, I can't tell you a lot, but I can honestly tell you that I hold no regrets. That Did we win every game? No. Did I make every throw? No.
Yeah, you
Did I make
did.
mistakes? More than I care to count. But I can say this, there was never one time where I did not give it all I could.
And we love you for it.
You know, and I've said this to my daughters, and I say it to any young person out there who is playing sports. Don't ever look back and regret
Ever.
not doing your best. Don't ever look back.
We love Brett, right, guys?
There are no second chances. When you're 25 and you wish you would have done something in high school, it's too late.
No, they don't.
Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat your teammates.
Best.
Work as hard as you possibly can. Lay it all on the line. And whatever happens, happens. But you won't look back and regret. I don't regret anything.
Yeah!
It was perfect. I don't regret anything, and that's what I'm most proud of. And I say thank you again.
Thank you! That was Brett Favre, y'all. Brett motherfucking Favre. Woo! How you like me now? Look at all these fucking motherfuckers. Hey, Keeler! Aaron! This fucking guy. Yeah! Can't even see it, dude. It just looks like I'm following some guy around without a shirt on. There you go. No, come over here in the light. Turn. Hold on. There you go, yeah. Yeah! Right on! Okay, ain't no aisle. Here, hold this.
Oh, shit, I would have left him there.
Yeah, I grabbed him. I went over. Yeah!
I'm gonna hit the head real quick.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks for that picture earlier.
No problem.
Boss. Football Hall of Fame, Brett Favre. How do you like that? I hope y'all enjoyed this. First time ever being Facebook Live or whatever the fuck this shit is. You know? Enjoy some fireworks.
up, man?
Gunslinger, baby!
That was fucking awesome. Yes, and that was it.
I can't take no pictures.
Thanks for letting me use your thing. Alright, I don't have a fucking clue where Aaron is. I'm guessing he's still in line for the bathroom. So I'm gonna shut her down. I'm gonna go take a piss.
Alright.
Hope you all enjoyed. I don't even know who watched the whole thing or any of that. I don't know what Big Live is. I just did it. And my face is really close. Holy shit. Alright, bye everybody.